This video is part of a playlist where I'm showing you how to set up a store from start to finish. And in this one, I just showed you how I planned out adding my text to the landing page, how I changed the color, and how I changed the font. If that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and keep watching. If this is helpful, please like, please subscribe, and please leave a comment. Thank you. So just like my images, I went ahead and I mocked up all of the text for my landing page. I think this just ends up with a better result than just going in there and just typing away. So now that I got that already, I can start adding that text to the landing page. So here I am in Theme Editor. In the left pane, I have all my sections. If I hover over a section, then the page is going to move to that section. So going back up to the top, let's start here on the hero banner. And over on the right pane is where we can actually change the text. So I see the text icon here. If I click that, I can see that hero is highlighted, and then over on the right is where I can change that. So looking back at what I wanted for my design, I wanted to say, let us guide you. So I'll just copy that and I'll paste it in here. And then I could change it to medium, small, or large. I like large, at least for this instance. Then moving back over to the left pane, I can see that there's a little subheading here. Tell your customer about your product, so I will go ahead and copy what I had in my design. Control A, Control C to select it all, and Control A and Control V. And you can see that appear on the page. Then I'm also going to want to change the button. So I will select the button. And right now I'm not going to worry about where that's going. We'll cover that later. And it says shop all. I think I want that to say start today. And I'm going to save. So the hero's all set. I'll move down to the multi-column here. And so moving on to the left pane, I'll select multi-column, which will bring me to that section. And then I'm going to look at the first column and change the text in there. So you can see that appeared on the right side with the description, paired text with an image. So going back to my plan, this is the one I want right here. So I'm going to select all the text I prepared, come in here and paste that. Now one thing is there's an optional link label, and I do want this to take them to an actual product, so I'm going to change this to learn more, and you can see that that appears. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I probably have to put a link in there. I'm just going to change this to contact for now, just so something's in there. And then I'm going to pause this and I'll do the other two so you don't have to watch. But actually, before I do that, don't want to forget that there is the heading. So I will add heading in there now. And those are all set, so we can move on to the next section, which is image with text. And I'll go through this one pretty quick. I think you're starting to get the idea. So select the text on the left within the section, and then we'll change the heading to custom code. Save that. And then back on the left, we can see where the paragraph is. And that is where we will add the content that I prepared ahead of time. And I will paste that in and save. And then we'll change the button from button label to start today. And it looks like I forgot to do that for the multi-column above, so I will go back to that one. And actually, I don't even want that there, so I'm just going to remove button label, and now it's gone. I also notice it says multi-column up here at the top. I don't need a heading at all. These are all, they all have a paragraph to explain what they are. And I think you're starting to get the idea, so I'm going to put it on pause now, fill out the rest of the text, and then we'll talk about typography and colors. And so I have all the text filled out and it's looking pretty good. We're starting to get some nice looking content on our landing page, so we can start messing around with the colors and the fonts. So the flexibility for colors is honestly a little bit underwhelming without messing with the CSS, which will be later in this series, but let's just go through what is available. So on the left pane here, you'll see the paintbrush that says theme settings. Let's go ahead and click that and then we can see some colors. And let's start right here, right at the top, solid button label. Use as foreground color on accent colors. So let's go ahead and change this to a blue and see what happens. And you can see the color of the text actually changed, and it's pretty bad. Now you can change this to whatever you want just using this color picker here, and you can even paste in your own hexadecimal codes. And that's the color I used in my hero image, and I actually kind of like the way that looks, so I will just keep that there for now. So I'll click this, and then I'll click Save. And then we can change the background of this button as well by clicking the accent one. As you can see, it says Use for solid button background. So I tried a gray, but honestly, I think probably just a nice black is going to look best. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. And then you can see there's accent 2. Throughout your store there might be some alternate buttons, especially on the product pages. So then you'll be able to click that and change those with the accent 2. And we can change the text. So let's go ahead and change that to something recent. And you can see all the text within our sections just turned to this horrible blue. I can undo that just by clicking that back arrow. And now those changes are gone. And then we can change the text links. So these right here as well by doing outline button, also used for text links. And watch, if I choose that blue, it's going to show up, but I don't think that's a great color for that. And I'm just going to set it to this little bit of a darker green, so it's kind of in the same shade, but that way it stands out a little bit, but it's more readable than that lighter color. And then if we really want to play with the background, this is going to make some dramatic changes. So I could set the whole black background to be this horrible blue color. Or how about let's do a dark theme and change it to black. Now that actually has some potential. I could change it to black, and then I could come through and change all of the text to white. Let's try that. So that actually has some potential. Now I would have to redo some of my work. I would definitely want some white icons. You can barely see those, obviously. So I'd have to redo that, but really, I could very easily, within a few minutes, go through, change those icons again, and then have a darker theme. And you can see that looks pretty sharp like that. It just needs some adjustments. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and reverse the last two steps and get things back to how they were with just the white background and the black text. And that is unfortunately about it for the colors. Obviously, if you know CSS, you can get into the file and start messing around with that. But yeah, right out of the box, there's not a whole ton you can do. And what's a little bit frustrating about that too is like this button, I've noticed it hasn't been changing at all. So I can go into the image banner and click on the buttons, and then it says use outline button style. But you can see it's not following the style for the rest of them. So it's not great. You would have to go into the CSS to change that. A little bit frustrating. So for the last part of this video, let's just look at changing the typography. So once again, that's going to be in the theme settings, the paintbrush over here on the left side. And we can check out typography. So we can change the headings. Right now it's assistant. And then there is a whole bunch of options that they have for you. Let's just change this and see what happens. And you can see that my header just changed to that kind of horrendous font. And there's a whole bunch of preloaded fonts that you can just choose whatever you like. I'll probably just stick with what they had. Yeah, and to upload your own fonts, you'll have to mess with the CSS. There's actually quite a few fonts on here though, so you can just play around with those. I'm just going to cancel this one, and then also you can see that you can change the body, and that's currently assistant, but same type of thing. You could just come in here and change it to whatever you wanted. So to make it a little bit more fun, I'm changing the body to oxygen, and I'm going to change this one to, you can search as well to see if a font is available, Pacifico. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now. So in this video, we went over adding text, changing the colors, and changing the fonts. If this has been helpful, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. If you have a suggestion, I'd love to hear that as well. Go ahead and add that in the comments. And thank you for watching.